Hello, welcome to Offside and On Tap with me, Tricky. It's another episode. It's been 2 weeks since the last one with the international break, and yes, it's been painful, hasn't it, really? Watching international football does not compare to the Premier League. We absolutely love the Premier League. Back in August, 30-degree weather, and now we're back into proper autumnal feeling, wind, rain. Yeah, love it. Which means the season's properly getting into it now, isn't it? Fantastic. I can't wait to get back into this. Beer of choice this week. As always, we will pick a beer. I pick a beer to have on this programme. And I've gone for Max Verstappen won the Monza Grand Prix. He's Dutch. So in honour of him, I've gone for this Bavaria. See that? Bavaria Dutch lager, 5%. Just in dedication to him, I guess. So well done, Max. Well done on winning a race. Bavaria is my drink of choice. Home bargain's finest. There's plenty of good beers in there, would you believe? Absolutely fantastic. So, with it being so long ago, week 3, what happened in week 3? Some highlights of the programme on week 3. It was Liverpool who beat Arsenal in the top of the table clash. So Bosley, absolute stunning goal, middle of the goal, free kick. It separated the teams in the end. There wasn't much in it. Very drab affair up until that point. Manchester United, they finally beat Burnley in the 97th minute. It was in the end. Put them to the sword in the end with a penalty. Manchester City's troubles carried on after being ahead against Brighton. They lost again. Still not fixed things there, Pep. Manchester City. And my team, Newcastle, another drab 0-0 away game. Plenty of chances in there, but didn't take any. And another 0-0 result. Showed the lack of firepower, showed the lack of an Alexander Isak at that point. But as we know, things have changed now since the end of the transfer window. To the point scoring for that week, if you remember back at your predictions, people commenting. Top scorer was Sai. Bring on United 2025. He got 7 points, 5 correct results, including 1 perfect score to get those 7 points. Myself, just the 3 correct results and no perfect scores, so just 3 points for me. Again, disappointing. It's been really tough to predict these games this season so far. So yeah, got to pick things up, got to get going now, and get some results in the bag. So let's get into week 4 of the predictions. So game number 1 is the early kick-off Saturday, 12:30. It's Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal didn't show up, did they, at Anfield in the last game? Really didn't. It's a really drab affair, not what we expected from what was billed as the game of the weekend. And Szoboszlai's goal was separating the teams. I don't think 2 David Rayas would have saved that shot, to be fair, and I rate him as the best goalkeeper in the league. So that was, phenomenal free kick, and it separated the teams in the end. Probably a draw would have been a result that was fair at the time. And the winless at Anfield in 13 attempts in the last 13 games, which, if you want to win Premier Leagues, you're going to have to break these voodoos at some point. And it's a long time since they've won there. And they'll need these games to win these games to turn the points around to win the titles. Nottingham Forest, it's all changed, isn't it, this week? It's all gone off. Lingered on a little bit from the last round of games. I thought it was going to be sorted well before it was this week, but Nuno got sacked by the crazy Greek chairman. It was all to do with the spat, wasn't it, regarding saying that the relationship had broke down since last season, and they made the decision just to get rid of Nuno. So things obviously weren't right at the club. There'll be more to it as well, I'm sure, behind the scenes. Big issues, but they acted quickly. They got Ange Postecoglou in, obviously another uncontroversial character. He's in through the door. Very different kind of manager, very much an attacking kind of manager with his tactics. Will that suit the players that Nottingham Forest have? I don't know, we'll have to find out about that. But I think fans are right to be sceptical, aren't they, with the finishing position that Tottenham Hotspur were in last season, finishing in, well down, weren't they, 17th place. So very, very right to be sceptical. Elliot Anderson played in for England twice in the last week and got man of the match both games. Absolutely a player who's reborn at Nottingham Forest. Really happy for him. Fantastic, great stuff. I'm backing Arsenal to pile more firewood on the Nottingham Forest fire here. I'm going to go for Arsenal to win this game 2-0. Next up, we've got Bournemouth versus Brighton. First of many actually Saturday kickoffs at 3 o'clock, which is very rare these days. Bournemouth versus Brighton. Bournemouth, excellent win away at Spurs. Very unexpected as well. I don't think many people would have expected them to do that the way Spurs have been playing. Spurs had 61% possession in the game, but they only got one shot on target with that. And Bournemouth managed to get 6 shots on target from their 20 shots. So despite not having the ball, they did get plenty of balls forward and have lots of opportunities. Shots get you goals, goals get you games ultimately. Despite a whole new defence, really impressive still at the back. Bournemouth, they've revamped the whole defence. 2 clean sheets in a row now. They're really hard to play against as well. And if you think you do get at them and then the ball comes back to the likes of Semenyo, the soon at the other end of the pitch. He's so good on the counter-attack. Absolutely frightening, electric pace. With the counter-attacking, they're a really good team to... the really hard team to break down and then play against. Brighton, great win for them as well at home to Manchester City after being behind. James Milner got a penalty goal, his first goal in 6 years, and he dedicated that to obviously his old teammate Jota, saying he must have been with him with that goal. So that was very nice to see. And then they won it late as well. These teams have only drawn one of their 12 Premier League meetings in the past, so they don't draw many. There's usually a result one way or the other. But I am backing the Cherries to be ripe, and I'm backing a few goals in this game. I'm going to go to 3-1 to Bournemouth in this game. Next up, we've got Crystal Palace at home to Sunderland, also Saturday kickoff 3 o'clock. Crystal Palace are really impressive, despite losing probably the main threat in Eze. They absolutely shattered Aston Villa away from home with a 3-0 win, and they're unbeaten all 3 games, having also drawn against Chelsea in the first game. So picking up some big results against very good teams. They're becoming very feared by a lot of teams. You wouldn't want to play Crystal Palace at the moment. Mark Gahey ultimately stayed on the last day of the season. I think there was a little bit of threat from Glasner that he would leave if Gahey was allowed to go to Liverpool. So in the end, the plug was pulled on the £35 million deal. But actually, if you think about it, to keep your captain and a very strong player in your team for another season, or get £35 million, which one would you go for? You probably want to keep that captain, wouldn't you? If it helps you to win maybe another trophy and to win more games in the Premier League as well. Ultimately, in my opinion, Sunderland fans have been very chirpy, haven't they? Above Newcastle in the league, won 2 games, but remember who you've beat. You've only beaten West Ham United and a Brentford team with a massively depleted attack. So you haven't really done much yet, have you? And you lost to Burnley as well, actually. You haven't really been challenged yet. You're going to be falling down that table very soon. Like if you were playing snakes and ladders and ended on a snake, you'd be going down. Don't you worry about that. I'm very sure. Crystal Palace, you're going to give them a reality check in this game this weekend. And I'm going to back the Eagles to soar. I'm going to back them to beat the Black Cats 2-0. Next up, we've got Everton at home to Aston Villa. Again, 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday afternoon. Everton, wow, things have really turned the right way for you, haven't they? New stadium, new owners at the end of last year, team playing attractive football. It's very un-Everton-like, isn't it? It's been very downbeat for a long time, and I think the fans are absolutely loving things at the moment, as they should. David Moyes back in charge, and don't rule out a cup win for this team, for Everton. Very Crystal Palace-like. Crystal Palace came good at the end of last season and ended up with a trophy. Everton has started decently as well. New signings midfield. Jack Grealish, 4 assists in his first 2 starts at the club. He's come in and I said he'd have to do well, and he's doing the bit. Hopefully he'll start chipping in a few goals as well for his bid to get in the World Cup squad at the end of the season. But also Dewsbury Hall, how good is he? such a good young talent. You can see why Chelsea came in and bought him in the end, and just because Chelsea have got such a pool of players, they just couldn't fit him in the end. He was a big part of their European win last season, Dewsbury Hall, and you can just see the talent oozing through, and in this team he is thriving along with the likes of Grealish and the others in the team. And on the flip side though, Aston Villa, what's gone wrong? It's gone very, very flat for Aston Villa. No goals in the bottom three, and no statement signing this summer really, no one to be massively spoke of, but obviously letting Jacob Ramsey go, so homegrown talent leaving the club. A lot of fans frustrated by that, I'm sure, and they needed qualification in the Champions League in order to go out and make those big statements, because that would have paid, the money from that would have paid for those. And of course you went big at the end of last season with some of the wages you were paying for the likes of Rashford and Asensio on loan, and signing Marlon as well. So yeah, not really any new blood that's coming to improve the team and such. This fixture, Villa have only lost once to Everton since 2019, so hopefully some good omens for them in this game. I'm fancying them to get the first goal in this game, Aston Villa, finally, and probably Ollie Watkins would be the one to do that. He's the main man, but I'm going to go for the spoils to be shared in this game, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Fulham at home to Leeds, again Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff. Fulham really hard done by at Chelsea in the last game. Absolutely shocking decision. Once again, VAR getting involved where it doesn't need to get involved. The people there, Stockley Park, we need to get ex-players into these games in the VAR roles, because these people just don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. Honestly, it's so frustrating for every fan now. Just get some ex-players in who know the game, know what a foul is. I mean, that's just a shocking decision. Muniz definitely does not foul Chalobah on the halfway line. Anyone knows that. He's touched the ball, taken the ball away from Chalobah, and then he's on the turn. He's stood on him, and it's absolutely not done on purpose. So, not a foul, possession of the ball, and Fulham score an absolutely fantastic goal from there, and then he gets ruled out, and that would have changed the game massively. So yeah, just sick of VAR. Lots of different things you could try. I really like the idea of a review system. Both teams get 1 or 2 reviews each half against big decisions like this, and then maybe a panel of 3 will vote on it. But yeah, when they're getting them wrong anyway, it's not going to make a big difference when these VAR referees and officials getting it wrong. So whenever you try, it's probably going to go down anyway, isn't it, with these? But yeah, that's got to happen. Something's got to change. It's just not good for the game. Leeds, solid start. Leeds, only 1 goal in the 3 games, but they somehow come out with 4 points, and it's a solid, if not unspectacular, start by them. They're going to need to pick up the odd away result though as well, so you can't just rely on those home games. You're going to have to pick up the draws, battle for those tough draws, pick up those odd wins against teams around you, and Fulham, I think this game, they will edge it. The strikers of Leeds, I just don't fancy them scoring too many goals. I really don't. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he doesn't look fit, he doesn't look sharp yet, too long out, and he's their second choice striker after Emecha, so I just don't fancy them to score many. So Fulham, I think they'll score early in this game, and then I think they'll draw the curtains at the Cottage and shut up shop. I think they'll win this game 1-0. Half time in the games, so let's have a half time refreshment. That's proper nice, actually, that is. Really nice. So, my boys, Newcastle at home to Wolves, Saturday 3 o'clock. We rarely have games on Saturdays at 3 o'clock anymore. Newcastle boosted by getting the 2 strikers in that we so craved, to get rid of Isak, getting gone. He didn't want to be there. Got them in, Voltemada, Wissa, and both play international games this week. Wissa scoring 2 goals in 2 games, really good. I think Wissa will be the one that gets the nod up front, up top, with his number 9 shirt in front of their Gallagate. He'll be the one playing. Voltemada might play in a midfield 3 with a attacking sort of role, but if Joelinton's fit, I can't see anything else other than Joelinton, Tonali, and Bruno in the middle. We've looked great in every game. and just not had the clinical final pass or finish to go and win the game. So we could have won every game, to be fair, but it didn't happen. I think Barnes will come in for Gordon after suspension for that very, very silly tackle in the Liverpool game. We just need to score goals in this game. And what better team to play than Wolves to test that out? The team at the bottom of the table, propping it up, not got a point yet, and I really, really fear for Wolves. They've been second best in all the games they've played so far. Losing 3 to Everton was flattering to Wolves, to be fair, because they were nowhere near in that game. And they've lost the last 2 visits at St James's Park. They've lost by a 3-0 scoreline. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give them a goal in this game, but I'm also going to give Newcastle 3. So that's another defeat for Wolves. That's Newcastle to win 3-1. Next up, we've got London Derby. We've got East London versus North London. West Ham United versus Tottenham Hotspur. West Ham, absolute smash and grab at Nottingham Forest in the last game. I mean, how can you predict them to score 3 goals in the last 10 minutes of a game against a team that was pushing for Champions League places last season? The way West Ham have been playing, so open at the back, so poor in midfield, just absolutely no energy in the pitch at all. You just couldn't see that coming. Souček and Ward-Prowse, so uninspiring in the middle of the pitch, aging legs, but they managed to get the job done against Nottingham Forest, which was an absolute shock. Really like their attackers, Paqueta, Bowen on the wings, and up the pitch, really high-class players. They'll get them out of trouble this season. They won't be down there quite as low as I feel like they'd finished last season, 16th. Füllkrug come in from Borussia Dortmund, but I really don't feel he gets up to the pace of the Premier League. I think he's very much a target man, but the ball's not coming to him, and he's not doing the goods for him. He was a very much better player at Dortmund, so he's struggling at the moment. Tottenham Hotspur, massive news for you as well this week. Daniel Levy leaving the club after 24 years. And yeah, things have been up and down for the club. Let's say with him at the helm. Spurs fans calling for transfer funds to come in, spend the money, not happening. But you've got a world-class stadium now. You really have great foundations, great training ground, and you've not been in a relegation scrap from what I can remember of 24 years of football. So you've always been safe, and you're considered a top 6 club. So yeah, he's obviously done some things very, very right for you, and he's going off the back of European success as well last season, winning the Europa League. So things aren't all bad, and it's going to be interesting to see where the club does go from here now. You've got a really strong manager, and you're going to have new ownership as well, new direction, new chairman in the club as well soon. And West Ham, you're unbeaten at home versus Spurs since November 2019. I couldn't believe that. That's a long time unbeaten against them. But things do change eventually, and runs have to come to an end. I think that this game will be West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Tottenham to win. Next game, we've got another London derby. We've got Brentford versus Chelsea, Saturday at 5:30. So, Brentford very much a home comforts team, aren't they? Don't like to travel too much, don't get many points away from home. Big game at home for them. They did lead at Sunderland until the 82nd minute, and then it all went wrong for them. They missed the penalty, and they had a disallowed goal. Things could have been very, very different for Brentford. Would have liked it if you'd have beaten Sunderland, but you let them in. I don't see any reason still to doubt my prediction of them going down at the end of this season. I still think that is a big possibility for Brentford. I just don't see anything changing, and they showed the lack of ambition for me when they signed Jordan Henderson to come in to the club. I mean, yeah, you sell your best players and blame on Wissa, bring in Jordan Henderson, spent money on Ouattara from Bournemouth, who's a very, very good player, but just showed a little bit of lack of ambition trying to go in for that sort of player for Jordan Henderson. Chelsea, it's your 4th straight London derby in a row. I've got a feeling that this happened last season to someone. They played like 8 or 9 games in London for the first, or 10 games in London for the first 10 games. And it's going that way again at the moment for Chelsea. They look like they're going to score a lot of goals this season. Already scored bagfuls of goals, including hammering West Ham United earlier in the season. But bad news, not Rui Delap, he's the father. Liam Delap, 10 weeks roughly out with injury, so probably going to push João Pedro further forward in the number 9 role as he's been playing in behind him in a 3 behind, and that gives a chance for maybe the youngsters Gittins or Andre Santos to come into that 3 behind the striker. And Pedro's scoring bags of goals, 5 in 5 games for Chelsea in all competitions. Saicedo and Fernandez in midfield, absolutely solid. Great energy, great legs. They cover the whole pitch. They get around. They score goals as well. They both score goals, and it allows that front 4 in front of them to go and play with freedom. And that's really, really dangerous for teams because Chelsea are really, really good at the moment at scoring goals. The last 3 meetings at Brentford between these teams have actually been draws. I didn't realise that either. But this is a very much weaker Brentford team and a hell of a lot stronger Chelsea team this season. And I think there's going to be goals in this game, and I'm going to back Chelsea to win this game away from home 3-1. Next up, we move into Sunday. We've got Sunday 2 o'clock kickoff for Burnley at home to the reigning champions and Isak Steelers, Liverpool. Burnley, they deserve something from Old Trafford in that game. It was a really good game in the end. I didn't predict many goals, but there were goals. There was 4 more goals than I predicted, in fact. What I did get right, though, is I did pick the late winner for Manchester United. And, yeah, it was a shocking decision from the defender to pull at Diallo. He got a covering defender, didn't need to do it. Runs into the box holding the shirt, goes down like a sack of spuds, as you would in the 91st minute of a game when you're drawn 2-2. And penalty goes in, Fernandez puts the penalty away. It's these sorts of moments through a season that do cost these clubs their survival. So, yeah, got to wise up a little bit, Burnley. Get wise to this. Liverpool rolling on again. Big win against Arsenal. I predicted an Arsenal win. Really thought they would get that as well after the way Liverpool have been shying goals in the first couple of games, but it didn't happen. Now got Isak in the team, and it's going to be very interesting to see who he goes with or what formation he changes he might make at Anfield, because Ekitike and Isak you'd expect to play in the same sort of role, but Ekitike can play perhaps in a 3 behind, or they change formation, go 4-4-2. I can't see the 4-4-2 personally. Not many clubs will do that now. Get a run in midfield. But yeah, interested to see if he'll start as well. I think possibly be on the bench, Isak, for this game. And Ekitike will just carry on because he's not done anything wrong. He's scored 3 in 3 games, so why would he change winning formula? But yeah, he'll get again at some point in this game, Isak. Didn't sign a centre-back that I thought they should. Liverpool, Mark Gahey, left it very late to put in the bid, and then it all went wrong. Plug was pulled and they didn't have any other options to go for, so stuck with what they've got. Inexperienced Leone, Gomez, who's always injured, Van Dijk and Konate, who's having, by all accounts, a shocking season so far, not doing so well, very shaky at the back. Any injuries to them and you're very short in that area could cost you potentially. But yeah, it's going to be an easy 3 points for Liverpool in this game. I'm going to go for Burnley 0 or nil, Liverpool to score 2. And finally, what will be billed as the biggest game of the weekend? It's the Manchester Derby, 4:30 on Sunday. Manchester City at home at the Etihad to Manchester United. Both teams are in a little bit of bother already in the start of the season, aren't they? Manchester City losing 2 games, actually below the table. Manchester United below Manchester United in the table even, which is a big thing in itself. But City's still very vulnerable despite the return of Ballon d'Or winner Rodri, still looking very shaky at the back. Rodri's got to obviously get up to speed yet, but there's so many good players in that team, it just hasn't quite clicked for them yet. And now they've lost a couple of players as well to injury. Marmoush and Cherki both injured for the duration for a little while, so missing players as well. But brought in big goalkeeper, probably in my opinion the best goalkeeper in the world in Donnarumma, best shot stopper by far. Not so good with his feet, but after seeing James Trafford the other day, it's not necessarily the worst thing because he didn't have a great one, did he? Donnarumma really impressed with his career so far. He's only 26 years old, so he's got a lot of time in this club to earn a lot more trophies than he's already done internationally and at club level. And Pep's changing a lot of his team around. It's very hard to know who's going to bring in. He's always been the same, but he needs to just try and find his best 11 now and stick to it for a while. Manchester United, Amorim, his body language is just very off since before the Grimsby game really. He's not really showing a lot of positive energy, and that's very contagious for the club and for the squad players and the players in the team. He needs to needs to pick the energy up again. It's only been a few months since you didn't start the job. Keep the energy high. I know it's been really tough, not picking up the points, losing the Europa League final, which maybe it would have been a very different atmosphere if you'd have got that trophy and you'd been in the Champions League by now as well, which changed the whole season for Manchester United. But if he don't change the shape of the team, I really think he's going to be gone soon. I think the board will get rid of him. It might be Christmas time before that happens, to give life to him and give him a bit of a chance. But yeah, it's not looking too good at the moment. But new goalkeeper has come in, so hopefully mistakes from Manchester United will stop at the back, and he'll be a safe pair of hands for them. He really needs to be, to protect that back four. I said before, I keep saying it, but if you'd got Donnarumma in from PSG instead of Manchester City getting him, I think that would have been game changing as well. That confidence that defence would have had. Will either team want to lose this game? Definitely not. Will either team go out and all attack? I don't think that'll happen either. And I just feel like this is going to be a very tense and turgid game, and I'm probably going to get shot down in the first 2 minutes of the game, but I'm going to go for a ball draw 0-0 for this game of the week. So that's it for the predictions for the 10 games, but we have the Trickies treble for the week as well. Still not won one after 3 attempts. Been close on a couple of those attempts, but we need to get one and get some money in the pot for Dementia UK. Half of the winnings of any bets will go in the pot at the end of the season for Dementia UK. Going to go for a little bit of a different one. Going to go for both teams to score coupon instead of actual results. Probably a little bit more chance with this. I'm going to go for Newcastle versus Wolves, Bournemouth versus Brighton, and West Ham versus Spurs, all teams to score. That's a £5 stake for a return of £23. That would be £11.50 in the pot for Dementia UK if that comes off. So please, everyone, pray for me that I'm going to get that and get some money in the pot at last. Really need to. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching, as ever. If you don't want to miss any of my videos or any of my shorts where I do a lot of whinging, a lot of moaning about things, about football, my rants, some of them might be funny, some of them not so much, some of them quite serious, please do subscribe to my channel, Offside and On Tap, of course. Comment your score predictions as well after this video. See if you can beat me. Everyone is beating me at the moment, but see if you can win the contest against anyone who wants comments. And remember, it's 1 point for a correct result, 3 points for a correct score, so a maximum of 30 points, and the top player I'll get a mention on the next episode. That's it. Have a great week. Enjoy all the games. Hope your team wins as ever.